Throughout life, I've been really lucky. And today I realized why this was. I personally, from my age, have a lot of achievements. I've accomplished all my goals I've set myself, not because I'm skilled, but because somehow, somewhere, some way, I got to know the right person that either helped me, gave me the right advice, or just did it for me, right? And today I realized why this was. And that's because I'm nice to people whom I don't have to be nice to. Well, let me give you like a little story. There was a lion that caught a mouse, and the mouse begged him to say, please, don't eat me. You know, I will do everything you want. And the lion looked at him and said, like, you can't do shit for me. You're just a mouse, right? But because he had so much pity, he let the mouse go. Maybe a couple of days later, the lion was caught by a human in a net, right? And he was like entangled in the net, he couldn't get out, right? Then he saw the mouse and he asked the mouse, please help. And you know what the mouse did? The mouse, nibbled on the net and let the lion free. So initially, someone who seemingly looks like he can't help you, in reality can help you. And that's the mistake I see in most people. They are only nice to people who they think that can do something or for them or get something out of them. But in reality, it doesn't really harm to be nice to everyone, right? I don't know how this works, whether it's karma, whether it's spiritual. There's always something that kind of like will work in your favor and actually reward you as a result of it. And I don't know how it works, but like that's my experience. I realized there's two main reasons why I get the right people to help me at the right time. One, I show appreciation. And number two, I don't even expect anything back. Let me give you an example. Like, I like to listen and observe people and look at what is important to them. And once they do the one thing that is important to them, well, I'm not afraid to say it. I actually show appreciation and I value the person for what they are doing and for what they, for what they are skilled in, right? Here's an example where I actually interviewed Dan O'Connor and I actually showed appreciation for what he did.
Yeah, no problem. And I think things in a way are meant to be because, you helped me and I found a way to help you, so I would like to serve you, and I really, really appreciate your time. So it's kind of worked out for both of us.
I can't believe you ever struggled with communication. You're like the boss. I'm very grateful that you shared that with me because really things like that, like they always come at the right time where I'm like, that makes a big difference knowing that we can help one another. So I'm very grateful to you for sharing that with me.
Looking back at the footage, I thought to myself, why the fuck did I just say that, I didn't even think about it consciously. I realized that we all are different and we all want to be valued for certain things. And once you can actually value people for what they want to be valued to, they will remember, they will look at you and they say, look, you gave me that compliment, it means a lot to me. So next time I can help you, I want to help you in return, right? And that's the pattern I've seen. And I think one time where it really, really helped me is when I was interviewing someone called Nampa Nick. He had a very tiny channel, but I like his content. So I reached out to him and I said, look, I've got this many followers. Like he had like 800 followers and I had like 5,000 followers or something, subscribers on YouTube. But I still wanted to interview him because I liked his content, right? But one of my friends told me not to interview him because I had more followers than he had and he would gain more out of the interview than I would. And to myself, I thought like, no, I really, really enjoy his content. So let me as well, might as well just, like talk to him and interview him and post. We both gain. If both of us gain at least something out of it, why not, right? So I just interviewed him anyway. And it turned out that he had a lot of good information. Like he gave me the idea of actually buying a GoPro, and he actually saved his YouTube channel with that because I found it very difficult to film here in Germany with a camera, with this big camera that I'm currently filming right now. Had he not given me that advice, I was this close to quitting YouTube because I was getting basically frustrated. I hope you get my point. Be nice to people who you don't even really need to be nice to, and it will do you nothing but good, right? This will lead me to my second point. Don't expect anything in return. Just be nice, be a good person, it doesn't really harm. Don't expect anything in return. The other day, I lost $50. I was in a meeting with in a group meeting and I lost $50 in that group meeting. When I got back home, I didn't know where my $50 were. I looked in my room, I looked under my bed, I looked in the car, I couldn't find it, right? That same afternoon, I got a phone call and saying that, did you potentially lose $50? And I said, yes, I did. How did you find it? I was like, oh, someone sitting next to you found it and they brought it to the desk and stuff. And I was like, holy shit. And I assume, I'm just guessing, but I assume while I was in the group meeting, I was talking to all these different people, mingling and actually like acknowledging the person for who they were. One guy was like a musician and I thought it was cool because I used to play the cello, right? So we connected on that. The person that was like hosting the event, that was calling me, I gave her a compliment based on her social skills because she was really, really good at like engaging people and getting everybody involved. And I told her personally that one day when I become my own boss and hire people, I will copy what you just did because you made me feel involved and special, and I appreciate that, you know? And she actually smiled. So when it comes to the, you know, and I didn't expect anything back because I left, in fact, I left early. I didn't expect to see any of them ever again, right? So when I left the venue and lost my $50, they were the first one to call, you know, instead of the musician putting the $50 in his pocket with nobody figuring out. He knew who the money belonged to and he gave the money to the instructor, right? And I think to myself, holy shit, I'm so lucky. But looking now, I realized, no, I created my luck. It's because I was nice to people whom I didn't have to be nice to. Do you get my point? So yeah, I just want to say, like, really, get in the habit of actually looking at people and listening to them, and like get in the habit of listening to people and looking at what is important to them and show them appreciation at that based on what they value. Because not only does that make them feel good, but it makes you feel good because you added to somebody, you added some happiness to somebody itself. And don't expect anything in return. If something comes, it comes. If it doesn't, you still have won because you're feeling good because you made somebody else feel amazing. I hope this helps because this is like a key lesson that I've learned, and I'll tell you where I learned this lesson from. It was back then when I used to play music and I always would enter like, you know, like jazz bands and stuff, and I look at jazz bands, and my girlfriend at the time told me that the drummer always gets underrated. And in that particular piece, the drummer made that music really good. It was the drum that made the good, but you don't really notice because it's the singer that gets all the attention, right? And I realized, yeah, that is so true, you know? When the drummer makes the beat, right? And the singer is not as good, the singer still gets the credit from the drummer's work, right? So what I did is I actually walked up to the drummer and I appreciated him, and I could see his eyes lighted up, and that kind of made me really happy. So ever since, I kind of got into the habit of actually giving people credit for what they deserve, whether it is something they do really well, or even if it's just like a personal sacrifice on their part. Sometimes people sacrifice something that doesn't seem to you as a sacrifice, but to them it's a sacrifice. So I always make a point of actually appreciating people and not expecting anything back. I hope this helps. If you're getting something out of it, let me know whether you agree with me in the comment, or even if you don't agree, let me know in the comment. I want to know what you think. And yeah, quick announcement. My focus group has actually started the course Jouhzu, how to make friends step by step, and they're getting pretty good along. And everything is moving on smoothly. And I just wanted to tell you, all of you guys, thank you, and I appreciate all of you, because this is another milestone for me, right? And if you're still with me, if you're still on board with me, just so you know, you appreciate it. And I'm gonna start trying to post twice a week. I want to give it a try before New Year's. I want to give it a test how it works out and whether I can actually keep up with you guys. Let me know in the comment section what day you watch YouTube the most. What 2 days would be the best for me to post twice a week. And I'll see you probably next week. I'm out.